you within?
To entice people.
It just looks like I'm not gonna change it though.
There's a mark there.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Right. Hi everyone!
Hello, Happy New Year!
Happy 2020!
For those of you who don't know, I'm Kumo.
And I'm Natasha.
And we are
Izwelami.
Thank you for joining our channel, and we hope that this year we will give you more insightful and fruitful conversations.
Yeah, I mean, our goal is to educate ourselves, educate you. Let's have difficult conversations, let's have funny conversations.
Let's laugh at ourselves.
Yeah, but let's be authentically African at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah. So 2020, beginning of a new year, everyone has resolutions. Do you have resolutions?
Yes. I definitely have resolutions.
Nice.
I was like, this year I want to have a summer body.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, this year I
Summer
want...
will get whatever body I give it, but definitely
That
the
is
one that I want.
definitely the body I gave Summer last year. I think this year's Summer deserves more from me.
But like, why though?
Why?
Why this pressure for summer body? Where does that come from?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it probably most of the time comes from you seeing pictures of people on social media and people are snatched.
Yeah.
Like beach body with costumes going like this. And you just like,
Flat
where
tummy.
does this body come from? Where
what
was
I
I?
want.
Where people were standing in line for body goals? Where was
For
I?
flat stomachs.
For flat
me,
stomachs.
That's
Yeah. Like we were
you
not
can only suck in so much tummy, eh?
during a picture. Yeah, so I don't know, but also it comes from just like you being comfortable with your body. You know, sometimes you go shopping and you're fitting clothes on it. They just don't sit the way you want them to sit. And you know, you can't buy an item that you think would really look nice because you just feel like you'd be really uncomfortable if you forced it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not even the fact that I want to look like Heidi Klum. I don't know, but just to feel comfortable with my body. Just like, okay, I can wear things that I want to wear, and I'm okay with that.
And I think like in the spirit of like resolutions, a lot of people have like different items on their list.
Yeah.
Some people go 90 days without alcohol because they probably overdone it in December. Every day from like 9 o'clock to forever, you're just like drinking. So like weight loss is part of the list.
Saving money.
Oh, savings.
Savings.
Yeah.
You know, just
Yeah.
there's a bunch of stuff on the list,
There's
right?
a
But
lot.
those are usually the top, like maybe 3 things people always want. We're always going to like on some kind of diet. You want to start exercising more. You want to save money, and you sort of like consume less alcohol.
Yeah.
Thing, right?
For sure.
Yeah. So that's usually the trend of New Year's resolutions. But where does it come from?
Yeah, exactly. And I was just thinking about it now to say, you know, as much as we all want to be, you know, tiny waist, kind of wide down there, it's interesting for us to like unpack where the pressure comes from, right? And I think like as Africans, right, we were just like talking about this to say we have a different kind of pressure.
Yeah.
And it's not like monolithic in its nature, right? I don't know. What do you feel pressure to look a certain way as an African woman?
I do. I think we experience a lot of I always call it black excellence pressure. So, and black excellence not only has sort of like a paper image, because on paper you're supposed to look good, but even like physically, like especially as a woman, you know, you have to look like you are black excellence. Like your weave is snatched, your hair is snatched,
Yeah.
you have a skincare routine, you are exercising, you're eating right. You know, when you're cheating, it's probably like a once a week, but you have like a good eating routine. You have like a very balanced social life. You still have time to see your friends and drink wine, but you don't drink too much wine, and you drink decent wine. Like you know what's happening in the wining industry.
It's crazy. And I think like for me, like just the politics of beauty, like personally, and you see like I'm rocking purple hair because I'm just like, you know, I'm tired,
which is a first for Natasha,
of living like according to people's rules. Like if they don't like it, it's not my problem. Like it's not my problem, right? So for me, I think like there's a lot of pressure, especially as like a young Black woman, also in like the spaces that, you know, I find myself, like at work, like even in my social life. Like I feel like you have to live, like you were saying, this Black excellence, right? And I have to look a certain way. And it's not that I don't like exercising, I do, right? But the pressure to have like a tiny waist and like still be thick at the same time, like the slim thick type of conundrum, is like so crazy. But then when you're in a different space, so maybe like at home, like in social settings, the pressure comes from like men, if we're going to be completely honest, right? You have to be fine and you have to look a certain way. And like family also says, you know, you can't like gain and be pudgy, so you have to look a certain way, otherwise no guy is gonna want like an unhealthy woman, you know. And then when I'm at work, I feel like I'm expected to also look a certain way, but more on the European Western side of things, you know. So I almost have to like fight these worlds and these spaces, and they all have to live on one body.
Between the woman who's supposed to attract African men who love hips and a small waist, and the woman at work who's supposed to kind of be like, I don't know.
Yeah, but it's tiny. You know, you have to be super fit, you have to be drinking water all the time, and there's nothing wrong with water. But you have to be like eating right, and you have to be talking about how you go to yoga, which I do, and like how you're going to the gym and how you're running, and you know, how you have to wear a weave, right? And I find like these small microaggressions, especially like at work, right? So I've told you the story about a lady at work who says to me, when I used to wear my wig a lot, right? She would say to me, "Oh, I really love you in this hair, like this is my hair." And then I would go and I would get braids, and then she would come and comment. She'd be like, "Oh no, you took the hair away, bring that one back." And I'm like, huh? Okay, sure. Yeah, I don't know. So much pressure.
It's a lot of pressure. Do you think, so I mean, this is not even in comparison with men. So I remember we were having a conversation to think, you know, we overly consider a lot of things. Like even if before you go to the beach and take off the shorts or the skirt you're wearing on top of the bikini that you said you were going to wear to the beach, you always wonder, oh, are there people around? Okay, let me take it off, right? I wonder if men sort of have this beauty pressure, like the pressure to look decent, to look good, to be presentable all the time.
I don't know. I don't know. So I would think, you know, I think from like very shallow observations, right? You know, I mean, we've been in relationships and you can see like the effort that someone's trying to make.
Yes.
I don't know if
some people,
you know, I can equate it to the same pressure that we would feel as women.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think if I were to judge on a scale, I would probably say maybe like height is a big insecurity for guys.
Definitely.
Because like women be like, you want a tall person.
Yeah.
You know, so you can wear your heels and not worry about being taller than
also
him.
Just like you're taking a picture.
You know, you don't want like a Tom Cruise and Katie.
I remember those pictures.
You know, but like it's so undue pressure on people
because you
really can't get like a knee replacement to like extend your legs. You know what I mean?
That's true.
But I do wonder if they do.
So I mean, I asked a few people around, and obviously there were I think a lot of the insecurities men get don't come as naturally. I say that very cautiously as women, right? So we sort of kind of like have a holistic insecurity about everything.
Yeah.
They seem to have an insecurity about things that they were teased about or overly observed as they grew up.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And the things that were not is sort of not an issue, right? So I was never teased about not having a flat stomach, but do I want a flat stomach? Yes, but I don't think men consider that. If I wasn't teased about it, then I guess there's no problem with it.
Yeah.
But, people who probably didn't feel like they had the best, teeth, or people didn't like maybe the shape of their faces, and then they started to develop like facial hair, or kind of those sort of things, like things that people would overly notice about them as imperfect. Those are the things that they would have an insecurity about. Whereas with us, it's just that no one has ever noticed. I always call my knees baby knees. No one has ever said to me, your knees are straight. Yeah, but I'm just the one who's like, no, these knees.
And like from an insecurity perspective, I think, I'm not a psychologist or anything, but I think it would be interesting to see how that actually morphs into like actual behavior, especially from a guy's perspective, right? So if you're overly teased about something and like, toxic masculinity as it lives, is that like your insecurity? Is that what would cause you maybe to be like disrespectful to women? I don't know. I think
I wonder.
We need to be careful about, what we say to people, I guess, because we never know what insecurities we're like feeding and fueling.
But I think it's a bit unfair because, women also walk around with their own insecurities.
Yeah.
But we don't, mostly, because there probably are women who are violent, but we don't go around shooting people because someone said my teeth are not straight my entire life.
But maybe like the violence shows up in how we treat other women, how we treat our children, because we can't necessarily go and beat up a tall person, buff guy, so it maybe lives differently.
That's true.
I don't know, it's something to think about. So crazy. While speaking about beauty, what are your thoughts on, this is a tough one. Are you ready?
No.
No?
But it's fine.
What are your thoughts on colorism?
Ooh, ding, 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 ding.
And we're like,
I don't want to be Pearl 2C.
We're like the perfect contrast.
Yeah,
right?
we really.
And we definitely have different lived experiences.
Yeah, sure.
Colorism.
I didn't live most of my life realizing that it exists. And I think when I started maybe being, I suppose, I don't know, woke, and it's something that people would mention, it always would come as, such an offense.
Okay.
Because it just felt like, but I didn't choose to be light-skinned, and I didn't choose but...
Yeah.
It is true that the same way I require people to recognize that they have male privilege, that they have white privilege, is the same way I should be able to recognize that there are certain privileges I get because of the way that I look.
Yeah.
Right? There are times where I don't have to stand in a line for much longer because someone thinks I'm pretty, just simply because I'm light-skinned. Or that I will be spoken to differently than another woman who's standing next to me who is much darker than I am because of
yellow bone.
My yellow boneness, It is probably more likely to be associated with beauty, and beauty is a very subjective thing.
Yeah.
But because of my skin, I'm probably more prone to be listened to. Not more because of anything else, but even if you probably say something that doesn't make sense at that moment. So I don't know, you have to be overly observant of that, but I don't think I should allow it to cripple me and feel like I should overly be apologetic.
Yes.
But colorism is a thing.
It's a thing, right?
It's a thing.
So I think, colorism is a tough topic, right? for either of us.
Yeah.
And I think the first step is to always acknowledge it.
Yeah.
That it does exist, and then there's nothing that you can really do to remove that away from you, right?
Yeah.
But I think how it then lives in society is people realize that the lighter you are, the more favored you almost are, and then we see these harmful beauty products, the bleaching and all that stuff being sold in the market, and people are not educated enough to understand the actual implications of that on your skin, right? And I think that's the side that people never really talk about, to say people go to extreme lengths to want to be lighter because of certain privileges that they think comes with being light skinned.
Yeah.
So for me, it's always like it's tough. So I've never. So I mean, there are comments where, I mean, I'm not like light, but I'm not dark, right? But like you would find family that says, "Oh, you're so lucky that you almost went to like your mom's side of the family," that you're not like as dark as like maybe like your dad or and stuff like that. And to me, like growing up, I would be like, "Oh, that's a good thing, right?" But like now, as an adult, I'm like, "What?
Yeah.
What does that even mean, right?" And it's so encouraging to find movements like melanin popping hashtags, on Twitter and stuff, and people that actually are starting to embrace, having a lot of melanin. I think that's powerful in its nature, and like generally people embracing their natural selves. So even like with the hair, with the short hair, or the afros and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big thing for us, and I think it says a lot in terms of owning the pride and the naturalness and the Africanness and the blackness.
Yeah.
Because I mean, on a continent like Africa, it's so crazy that people still experience colorism when like it's the home of melanin.
It is.
It's like, what do you want us to do?
But I mean, we're still psychologically dealing with that. I think. Sure.
Yeah, colonialism.
Mentally, it's done quite a number of things on us mentally that will take us quite some time to get used to understand, to kind of not differentiate that. For people not to see us sitting next to each other like this and compare our beauty based on how light I am and how dark I am. Yeah. For people to realize that just beauty is subjective and you are attracted to who you are. Also that's interesting, right? I always wonder when, like, there are men who probably date more light in complexion women, right? Okay. And I always wonder, it's very interesting. Like, don't you, like, maybe the psychology of that, like, isn't there? I mean, sometimes we want to be fake deep, but I always just wonder if maybe it isn't like you wanting to get closer to some kind of lightness in your life because you were never light. How we're always attracted to opposites, like even lighter people. I don't really like go for lighter people.
For light skinned guys.
No.
I think that's a weird psychology in itself, right?
It's very strange.
But like, also just speaking about like men who prefer to date light-skinned women, right? It's because then they're told, my man, you're doing well.
Yeah.
Like, your chick is fine and stuff. And, I mean, they could have the most amazing personality, I mean, we can't take that away from anyone. Yeah. But, I think, like, the pressure that guys also feel to date a certain type of woman is real, and we can't ignore it, right? Yes. But then the ripple effect then that has on the other women is what's devastating, and it's something that we should just generally address. We should have open, candid conversations about colorism. Yeah. And just educate each other. We need to start decolonizing beauty.
That's true.
That's the path that we need to get into.
So deep.
That's a deep conversation.
Any other deep questions you have?
I don't have any other deep questions. But in the spirit of resolutions, and speaking about all things new, I think, we can't negate the fact that we still need to live healthy. We need to exercise. We need to do all the good stuff, right? So we have a long life.
Yeah, but to your own type of whatever your own goals are, right? And we should keep from, I think social media is getting to a point where it's borderline dangerous for all of us. Because no matter how strong of a personality you think you are, you were definitely watching other people have these amazing lives and wonder, how did they get there? Why am I not there? What am I doing right or wrong or whatever? So I mean, we must always just remind ourselves that I am living according to what I am okay with, you know, what I am feeling. You know, just because people think this weight is too much, maybe that is what you want to get to, and as long as you're not beyond that, you're okay. We should always strive to be healthy, you know, healthy, well, look after our mental health, the physical health, financial health, but not in a way that is in comparison with anyone else.
Being in competition with yourself, define what success, what health looks like for you. I think, you know, everything that we do will always live on a spectrum, and it's important to find your position there. And there's nothing wrong with changing your mind also, right? Halfway through the year you decide, actually I want to do something different, and that's fine. But let's be positive about life. Let's have positive outlooks. Let's, you know, try and understand the reason behind the things that we want to achieve, and where that maybe that pressure or that motivation is coming from. And let's just be positive. 2020 is promising to be a good year.
It is.
Even though we almost had World War III in the beginning.
Oh yes, I remember. Where are we with that?
I think it's died.
Okay.
It's died down.
I was getting excited.
So
because we were going to watch from the side. Oh, no, probably not.
No, I wasn't going to participate. I think I must stay away. We have our own problems.
Not really, because they were going to make their problems our problems.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, superpowers.
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And
suggest conversations, maybe anything you want us to talk about, any people you think would be amazing to have conversations with, involved in our conversations. That would be super fun.
Awesome. Let us know your thoughts and catch you in our next video.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.